in the Rss Formula Hype. It's a great, whoa, big snap through there, and you're just seeing what I mean about... Hey guys, Adrian Racing here, back today with another video. Now, for those of you who are interested in motorsport, everyone will really have heard of Formula 1, and if you haven't, I want to find the rock you've been living under, mainly just to avoid F1 Twitter after any Grand Prix. But most of you will have also heard of other Formula series, such as maybe Formula 2 or Formula E. But one series that sort of flies under the radar is Super Formula. Now, Super Formula is a Japanese-based single-seater racing series. Now, there's only about, I think, 6 or 7 rounds during the season of Super Formula, but the cars themselves are pretty insane. Now, recently, Racing Studios, the creators of Formula Hybrid, the Formula V10, recently took on the challenge of replicating one of these Formula Supers in Assetto Corsa, and the mod is now completed. And here is the mod in question. This is the RSS Formula Supreme, and it is, well, it's pretty amazing. The attention to detail gone into this mod, even down to the anime figures on the rear wing. Lots of grip and downforce in this car, and you might look, it just looks like a sort of Formula 2 car, but I believe it's actually a bit faster. Now, powering this downforce monster is a single turbo 543 horsepower, I believe a V6, and also it has a hybrid push-to-pass system that you would see the likes of in IndyCar. Included in the mod, we have features such as animated front and rear wings, and even when you change the wing settings, the brake duct tape visually change. The detail in this mod is just pretty crazy. But I'm here to find out how this thing drives and how it feels on the track. So we're going to head out to, while not a Japanese circuit as such, because, well, I can really find it. Decent Japanese circuits. If you actually don't know any for Assetto Corsa, chuck them in the description, in the comments below. So we're going to be heading over to the next best thing, something very similar to a Japanese circuit. It's going to be Road Atlanta. Lots of high-speed corners, big braking zones, lots of opportunities for the fast sweepers that cars like this, downforce cars, just absolutely love. And we're going to be doing a quick 8-lap race against the AI, just to see how this car feels. Now, I've done a little bit of test driving, and, well, I'm addicted, to be honest. It's absolutely crazy. It has enough downforce to stick it in the corners like a Formula 1 car, but it's loose and it's sliding about like a Formula 2 or a Formula 3 car. It's a pretty fun experience. But enough of me rambling on about this car. Let's head out onto the track here at Road Atlanta to see how the new RSS Formula Supreme drives. Alright, so before we jump out on the track, I just wanted to show off some of the features on this car. So you can see here, the actual wing changes shape depending on which wing angle you go with. And if we head over to the front of the car, you can see it here as well, the wing right in the Monza spec here, all the way up to the Monaco spec, sort of around here. So if we just reset this back to where it was, I think it was 18. And I believe as well, I'm not sure if I can get a view of the brake ducts from on board, but that's pretty cool features to see nonetheless. So let's jump in the car and get ready to race. Now, this car sounds pretty insane, and it is lights out and away we go. And straight away, the car struggling for traction. AI really slow off the launch as we're going to head up to turn 1. So how are the AI going to be through here? Pretty decent actually. Oh, I love the turn 1. The downforce already bleeding on despite the cold tyres that we're on. So speaking of tyres, oh, as we go straight up the inside there, bit heavy. Whoa, car snapping around all over the place on the rear. These tyres really not up to temperature. Now, as far as tyres are concerned, there's only one actual tyre compound that's used during this series. So none of that soft, hard, medium, any of that trouble. Oh, turn it in, nicely done. God, this car sounds great. And the message from the car in front, send it. Okay, I'll abide by that if you want me to, mate. who are going to be sitting in the slipstream now. So no DRS. We do have the push to pass, which we won't use just yet during the race. We'll save it for a couple of laps time. And bouncing off the rev limiter down into the chicane, a little lock up. Car really responding nicely, and over the crest for our first lap completed here at Road Atlanta. So how does the car feel? It feels amazing. What really gets me first off is the force feedback. Now Kunos cars have brilliant force feedback. Big lift, whoa! The small murder. He was taking the first turn a bit slowly, whoa. But as I was saying about the force feedback, it's really, really intuitive. Like, you can really tell what's going on with the car, where it's snapping. Lots of cars in Assetto Corsa, especially lower quality mods, really don't have that final aspect. And I mean, I'm only on a Thrustmaster TX, so I'm never going to have the best force feedback in the world, but it's definitely decent. Like, this feels, I mean, I would say on par with something like iRacing, which to me personally has better force feedback than Assetto Corsa itself. But you can really just feel what's going on. The tyres respond super well to what you expect. Oh, that was a bit late on the brakes into the chicane there. But we somehow make it stick, and we get to gain a little bit of time on the cars ahead. But it's just a proper driving experience, this car. I would say this is probably better than any of the Formula Hybrids. I mean, how the car responds when you get it loose. It feels like it has downforce. It doesn't just feel like it has unlimited grip. It feels like the downforce, and as you really bleed the speed off, the downforce really goes away from you there. The car's snapping around all the time. Of course, this has really worked how it was set up, but I'm not complaining. This makes for a proper fun driving experience. And as I said, with the tyre compounds only being one sort of compound, you can really push them. They don't really wear down. You don't have to worry too much about the tyre grip falling off. You can just flat out push. Now, how does this compare, I mean, to a Formula 1 car? I mean, it doesn't have the power. I would say the downforce is probably about the same as the Formula 2 car. I'd love to do a sort of comparison between Formula 1, Formula 2 and Super Formula as we go maybe up the inside through the final corner. I think we're going to make it stick. Is he still there? Is he still there? Oh no, that was a big curb. Shh, nothing happened, nothing happened. Didn't touch the massive curve on the inside there. But that's what I mean, you can really feel when the car's going loose, getting snappy. And just the downforce and the front end bite this car has. Oh, it's addicting. You can just drive this car for hours upon hours. Coming through turn 5. Nicely done. Now we're going to try and sit in the slipstream. Just focus on maybe gaining a few positions back. 3, 6 and 7. Oh, a bit late on the apex there. And then back on the power nice and early. Let's chuck another push to pass on as soon as we've got one ready. The only couple of issues I maybe do have with this car is when you turn the halo off, the entire halo disappears, which kind of ruins the immersion a bit. I'd rather it just be like the Formula Hybrids where the center column just disappears. But other than that, that is probably my only gripe with this car. It feels just ridiculously fun. It sounds amazing. I mean, I'm just going to shut up here for a lap and just let you listen to this thing. Oh, it sounds good, doesn't it? This thing sounds amazing. Oh. But anyway, how did you like that outside of the turn 1 pass? It wasn't, definitely wasn't intentional, put it that way. We've lost a little bit of time there. Let's chuck another push to pass on, and already we're on lap 5. Now the car behind is going to be sitting in our slipstream. But this thing is just, I can't find the words to describe it. It's intoxicating. It's energetic. You have to really concentrate to get the speed out of this thing. It moves around so much. And I'm sort of repeating the same sort of praises and compliments because they are the praises and compliments to this car. It's such a raw, visceral driving experience. Something, I mean, as I said, I keep comparing this to something like the Formula Hybrids. As the AI like to have a big lift through turn 1 there. I keep comparing this to something like the Formula Hybrids because that was the standard. That was the standard for Formula cars in Assetto Corsa. If someone said to you, what's the best Formula car for Assetto Corsa, you would say the latest Formula Hybrid from Racing Studios. But they've gone and one-upped themselves with this thing. It's about $4, I think, for the mod, and to be honest, I would buy it even if it was $10, $15. This is quality you would expect from Kunos themselves. This is the kind of thing you would expect from iRacing to bring out. Like, it is worth so much more than what they charge for it. But the AI are a bit all over the place, to be honest. I don't even think they can control their excitement for this. But on to the last lap we go. Let's see if we can try and gain a couple more positions. But it's just insanely good, this car. I mean, there is just nothing wrong with it. The design as well, the liveries are beautiful. The car itself just takes my breath away every corner you go through. Taking this to somewhere like any track with downforce is just insane in this car. And when you've got the soundtrack to go with it, as I said, I'm just repeating the same compliments because I can't think of any other way to describe this car. I've already listed the only fault that I can find. I mean, this isn't a review, this is me having a mild crisis driving this car video. But as I was saying, the standard for Formula cars, and any mod to be honest, I can't really think of a mod that is this high quality except maybe the IER P13, the little LMP1. But that was just amazing for its own reason. But this thing is just so... it's just amazing on every level. As we come across the line, and where do we finish? Oh wait, no, there's one more lap. Crap. There's one more lap. I miscounted the laps. Okay. I mean, I'm not complaining. Let's see if we can try and throw it around for a lap then, shall we? So, down the S as we go again. Completely flat. As you would expect in anything with this downforce. How much you can carry through turn 5. Down to 5th gear. Really stamping on the throttle so much. Of course, these tyres nowhere near the grip of Formula 1 cars. Nowhere near the size either. So, you stamp on the throttle and you can get the wheels spinning if you really want them to. Right, last lap. Push to pass is enabled. We've got all the power we can. No DRS in these cars as well, which is nice to see. A little change in Formula cars. We're gaining all the way up. 9,000 RPM. There's 300 Ks. Maybe we can send one into the chicane. Hard on the brakes. Oh, he comes back at us. He comes back at us out the chicane. Little biff of the wheels. And over the crest we go. And round the final corner for the actual last time. We finished in 10th place, not bad given we started right at the back of this 18 car grid, despite the spins. But I have no words for this car. I genuinely have no words for this car. If you enjoy Formula 1 cars, you will love this car 10 times more. Formula 1 cars just have that unlimited grip, and finding the speed in them is amazing. But this is old. Feels like an old school Formula car with modern downforce. It moves, it's alive, it's not just grip, turn, like a modern Formula 1 car is, which is amazing in its own right, don't get me wrong. But for something like this, you have to feel it, you have to move it, and that's just something you don't find anywhere else in modern Formula cars. Even Formula 2 cars don't have this kind of rawness to them. But I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you found it informative, then I'd really appreciate if you hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to as well. I'll put a link to the website where you can go and purchase this car. 100%, 1,000,000,000% worth the purchase. But also left me to say is if you have enjoyed, I really appreciate if you hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to as well. Recently hit 100 subscribers about a month ago, going for 150, and if you want to see some more content on this car, I am not going to object to that at all. Maybe we could do a little comparison video to other Formula cars. That could be quite a fun little video to make. But all that's left me now to say is thank you very much for watching. And yeah, see you on the next one. See you later, guys.